What's up, guys? In this episode, I'll be featuring the Bruce Lee figure collection of Glynn Darbyshire out of the United Kingdom, and it's coming right up. What's up, guys? Charles Damiano back from the Bruce Lee collection for another exciting episode. And in this episode, I'll be featuring the Bruce Lee figure collection of Glynn Darbyshire out of the United Kingdom. Now, just to give you a quick bio on Glen, Glen is a hardcore Bruce Lee fan and collector, like most of us, and he's also a martial artist, and Glen has his black belt in various forms of martial arts, such as Taekwondo, Shotokan, Tang Soo Do, and kickboxing, just to name a few. Now, Glen was first introduced to Bruce Lee while being homeschooled for bullying back in the United Kingdom, and he was watching a TV show called The Scene. And the title of the TV show was called Looking for a Fight, and it featured Bruce Lee versus Chuck Norris, and they were exploring the Kung Fu craze and the Bruce Lee craze during the 70s. So it was a really interesting show, and that's how he got introduced to Bruce Lee, and he's been a fan and collector ever since. Now, Glenn's Bruce Lee figure collection is simply amazing. When I first saw it after being introduced to Glen by my good friend Hector Martinez, one of the biggest Bruce Lee collectors in New York City, I was just blown away. And Glen customized a lot of his Bruce Lee figures, and he also painted a lot of his Bruce Lee figures. And what I found really interesting about his Bruce Lee figure collection was the poses that he put them in. He also has one of his Bruce Lee figures, which I know you guys are gonna love, from the Game of Death, featured in the black Game of Death jumpsuit instead of the yellow Game of Death jumpsuit with the black stripe. This one has a black Game of Death jumpsuit with a yellow stripe. Now, I don't know if a lot of you guys are aware of this, but while filming the Game of Death, they were tossed whether Bruce should be wearing a black jumpsuit or a yellow jumpsuit. And the reason they decided on the yellow jumpsuit was because they had that scene where Kareem Abdul-Jabbar kicks Bruce in the chest, and it leaves the huge footprint on Bruce's chest. Now, they wouldn't have been able to show that if he wore the black jumpsuit. So when I saw Glenn's figure of Bruce Lee in Game of Death wearing the black jumpsuit with the yellow stripe, I really thought of that scene, and I know you guys are going to really enjoy seeing this figure. Another figure that really caught my eyes, which I can't wait for you guys to see, was Bruce Lee in a casual pose, sitting on a couch, having a discussion with his son Brandon Lee from The Crow. And it's so lifelike and so real that it just had me thinking what it would be like to have both Bruce Lee and Brandon Lee here discussing their life, their films, and what they're doing with their life in general. So for now, sit back and enjoy the Bruce Lee figure collection of Glynn Darbyshire out of the welcome back, guys. Now, wasn't that an incredible Bruce Lee figure collection that Glenn was kind enough to share with us? Now, I know I enjoyed the collection, and if you enjoyed the collection, please let Glenn hear from you. And I first want to start out by thanking Glenn for sharing his wonderful Bruce Lee figure collection with us, and I'm sure he would love to hear from you guys as well. So my question to you is, what was your favorite Bruce Lee figures in Glenn's collection? Please let him hear from you. Let's keep the channel engaging as always. Let him get to know you through our comments. And for those UK collectors out there, please reach out to Glenn. He's from the United Kingdom as well, and I know he would love to hear from you. So once again, I want to thank Glenn for joining us here today and sharing his wonderful Bruce Lee figure collection with us. And secondly, for those of you who are new to the channel, please remember to subscribe and hit the like button. And once again, thank you for joining us. And until next time, Charles Damiano saying, have fun collecting.